Hey guys, M13 here, and I'm going to answer a question that I get asked a lot. And that is, exactly how long am I? No, just kidding. The question is, how do you shift when you're stopping really quickly? Because I have another. If you don't know how to shift, or you want re-clarification on it, I've already got like 2 videos on shifting. So just search for shifting or shift and M13. But in those videos, I don't cover emergency stops or like quick stopping. And I'm an aggressive rider, so this is something I should know because I do quick stopping a lot. Like I'll often, like, there'll be a red light up ahead and I'll still just gun it towards the red light, and then like the last second kind of brake hard and stop at it, and then when it goes green I gun it again. I'm an aggressive rider. So yeah, the question is, how do I shift down when I'm doing it? Because, like, normally it's all about, like, you brake, your RPMs drop, and then you hold in the clutch, you blip the throttle to kind of bring the RPMs up to match the next lower gear, you shift down, and then repeat. But if you're stopping really quickly, you can't really, there's no time to blip throttles and whatnot. So, yeah, so in a few more seconds we'll get to a bigger road and we'll practice doing some quick stops. People comment on me passing on double solid yellows. If you notice this road here, this road has a segmented yellow, and it does all the way around these blind corners, etc., etc. So technically, it's legal for me to be driving my car on this road and to pass in the oncoming lane around those blind corners. And quite obviously, I wouldn't do that because it'd be like suicidally stupid. But it's legal. That's why, in Taiwan, you got to cut me some slack. Just because there's a double solid yellow doesn't mean it's not safe to pass, and just because there isn't doesn't mean that it is safe to pass. And in Taiwan, you can't just go by the lines, because I've literally seen a long straightaway with double solid yellow, and then as you approach the 90-degree corner, it changes to a segmented. It's like I honestly think the people making the lines just don't have a clue. They're just probably some guy driving a truck and he's got one button for segmented and one for double solids, and he just randomly pushes the buttons, he's like, I'm getting bored of the segmented one, let's switch over to the double solid yellow. Okay, and then they just switch it over. Okay, here's a quicker road. So this is second, third, fourth, fifth gear, sixth gear. We're in top gear, and I'm heading towards the red light. Heading towards the red light. Still heading towards the red light in 6th gear, and now I'm okay. And what I did was, yeah, what you do is you obviously don't hold in the clutch, shift down, let the clutch out. You're just braking. So yeah, you just hold the clutch in. With experience, and this takes time, you'll kind of just automatically shift down as your speed reaches the speed of that gear. As a new bike rider, you won't have a clue. So you just gotta kind of guess, really. So yeah, the answer is you just hold the clutch in and just keep kicking down. But you still gotta try to kind of match your gear to your speed, because what happens is, say you're braking at a red light, and then as you're braking, the light goes green. There's a car behind you, he sees the light goes green, so he starts to give it gas again, but meanwhile, you don't really know what gear you're in or whatnot, and you let the clutch back out, and you find you shift it down too quickly, so now you're doing you're still doing a fairly quick speed, but you're in 1st gear, so you let the clutch out, your rear tire locks, you shoot back at that car behind you that's accelerating, right? So, not great. But, so I guess it's better to be in too high of a gear than too low of a gear, because at least you won't lock up the rear, right? But yeah, that's 3rd gear. Oh, I'm in 6th gear right now. I'm not going very fast, but I'm in 6th gear. And just hold the clutch in and shifting down. That's it. Yeah, so for quick stops, you just pull in the clutch and brake. And, and just kind of just, even if I'm doing over 60 miles an hour, you still stop in what? I don't know. Let's try. Okay, 60 miles an hour. 60 traffic. Okay, 60 miles an hour, and 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005, 1,000. Okay, 5 seconds, okay? So you got, I went from 60 miles an hour to dead stop in roughly 5 or 6 seconds, and you've got 5 or 6 gears. So that means if you're braking hard, you should be shifting down a gear about one every second or so, right? So it's kind of hard to not be in the right gear, because if you've been braking for 3 seconds and all of a sudden if you're supposed to brake, if you need to brake for 6 seconds to be at a full stop, and you were in 6th gear, and then you brake for 3 seconds and you're shifting down, and chances are you want to be in 3rd gear after only having broke. What's the past tense for brake? Broke? After having broken? That doesn't make sense. After you braked, after having braked, I don't know. After having applied the brake for 3 seconds, you should be roughly in 3rd gear. And this is just with regards to from different bikes are different, but even for like a 150, a 250, a 600. Like, yeah, even with a 600 CBR, you could easily be doing in 6th gear while you're doing 60 miles an hour, and then it would brake in roughly the same time as this bike, 5-6 seconds, and it would still apply.